Greeting, this is Ahmed from Global Project Control YouTube channel. In this lesson, I would like to show you how you can create a dashboard by using Primavera Basics and Excel. This is my project. In my project, I have some budget labor and budget non-labor unit. Also, my resource loaded completely in my project, and I record some actual for labor unit according to my project progress. So I'm going to create a dashboard by using this project information. In order to create a dashboard by Primavera P6, in activity section, you need to go to the activity usage spreadsheet, open it, and then you need to customize your time interval information. If you want to create a dashboard for each month, you can use the month for time scale. But if you like to change it, change the time scale according to your requirement, then you can provide a dashboard, for instance, by weekday for each day. Right now, I want to create a dashboard for each month. So I use the year month, and then I prepare a layout for myself. Let me to open it. This is my layout for dashboard. Actually, when you want to create a dashboard by activity usage spreadsheet, you should remove all the WBS and group and sort in order to create data suitable for using by pivot table. Then come to activity spreadsheet section, go to the spreadsheet field and select the field is useful for you in this dashboard. I select most of field in order to data is available on my dashboard. Also, please note that some of data is available on the columns in activity section. Some of data is available on the interval section. So, for instance, if you need to know what is the total float or free float of your project, you should find it and add it. This is the baseline float, free float. This is the baseline total float. And this is free float for project. And this is the total float of project. I add this first. Then I go to the spreadsheet, use the select all. Then use the copy. Open the Excel file, and paste data. That is all you need to create your dashboard. This is direct information for dashboard creation. Let me to rename it. I use info for the main table. Then I'm going to insert a pivot. By go to insert and use the pivot. Use all the information. And the first item I want to create a chart is I want to draw a pie chart for budget labor and non-labor in project section. So I use the project code. Then I'm looking for the next value. The next value is a spreadsheet. Also, I need to know budget total. So I use the value for total. This is the cumulative baseline project labor unit, and this is the cumulative baseline project non-labor unit. Then I used to draw a chart, actually pivot chart. I select the pie chart and go to the chart setting for data, reverse it, and then right now I have the chart for cumulative baseline project non-labor unit and cumulative baseline project labor units. This is the project man hours chart. I used to modify the chart and shift the legend at the below and use the code and create a dashboard sheet and paste all the chart over here. And I name it this table to the 1. This is the table 1 of our dashboard. Then I'm going to draw a next chart related to the project cost. So I insert the second pivot table and name it 2. Add a project into rows and a spreadsheet field in the columns and total in the value. Let me to check the value is the sum. Yes, that's great. And let me to limit the section to the cumulative baseline project material cost, cumulative baseline project non-labor cost, and cumulative baseline project labor cost and material cost. Okay, and I'm going to draw a pivot chart for that. This is the good pivot chart, and let me to modify it and use the cut and paste it over here. I need to move the legend in the bottom and add the value for all items. So I think it is better to change it this chart to the value and draw another chart in percentage. So I go through the pivot chart again and name it sheet number 3. And let me to use the project, the total value, and a spreadsheet, all the item for the budget total cost. Baseline project non-labor cost, baseline project material cost, and baseline project labor cost. and then I want to draw a pivot chart in this section, pie chart actually. Let me to select it, then a little bit modification needed. Go to the chart setting. Right now I can move this chart over here. And send the legend in the bottom. Add the data label and change the data label to the percentage only. Oops. Add the data label and change data label to the value. Remove the value. Add a percentage instead of value to data label. And as you see, we know that how much the price of project and by this chart, and what is the percentage of price by this chart. Let me to change the percentage from here. And then I want to add the chart title. Then I'm at the price percentage over here. Right now I want to draw a scale for labor and non-labor. I'm going to pivot again, use the pivot chart, use the project, and I should add all of the month data in my pivot. After that, I use the spreadsheet and use the filter. The first, I want to draw a chart for labors. So, actual labor unit, then cumulative actual labor unit. After that, cumulative baseline project labor unit. And finally, I'm looking for budgeted labor unit. Okay, that's great. Right now, if I move a spreadsheet from here to here and remove the spreadsheet field, it is better. I need some correction in month's name. I need to remove sum of by only a dot. Okay. My cleaning is completed, so I'm going to draw a pivot chart. For that, so I select the criteria, then draw a column chart. For that, I need to do some modification in our chart, hide this criteria, then I select the data and reverse it. Right now, I need to cut the chart and move it to the dashboard. This is the chart number 4, belongs to labor's information. Let me to a little bit expand it. And I like to use the format for chart series, use the secondary for these two type, and also I want to go to the chart type and change this to from column to the line. Let me to move the legend to the bottom of chart. Okay, and add chart title. This is labor unit S-curve. And I like to draw a same chart for non-labor unit. I'm come back to the information from dashboard. Then I use to insert, use to pivot. Then I click OK. Rename it to the 5. Then I'm going to draw a chart for that. Spreadsheet field. And all the information for each month. I need to use them. Right now, it is better for me to use the filter and limited it to the non-labor unit. This is actual labor unit. This is actual non-labor unit. This is budgeted non-labor unit. And I'm looking for cumulative actual non-labor unit and cumulative baseline non-labor unit. That's great. Right now, I used to cleaning and replaced some off with nothing. That's all I need. I can use the pivot chart, use the column, and then draw a chart. I need some cleaning. I like to select data and reverse it. Let me to cut from here and use the paste to the here. I like to use the same size. So I fix it. Let me to change the resource series to the secondary, and if I go to the design and change the chart type, these are two secondary, and change it to the line. Right now this is the chart for non-labor unit, and this is the chart for labor unit. I need to do some modification. Let me to start by moving legend, then I add a chart title, this is non-labor resource is curve. Right now I like to add some slicer to our dashboard. Let me to insert a slicer for phase and discipline. Okay, slicer for discipline and phases. Need some modification on it. Okay, and this is the slicer for discipline. Okay, and if I want to connect all the chart together, you should go to the report connection and connect all the slicer to the all chart. I use the same for the discipline. Then if you want to limit all of your data to the construction, this is all data related to the construction. If you want to only have a look on engineering, you can limit it to the engineering. Actually, as you see, I don't have any information for non-labor unit at engineering. And if you want to have a look on a procurement, you can use the slicer and all the chart change to the procurement. And for procurement in electrical discipline, this is the chart for electrical discipline. And let me to rename it. This is the activity dashboard by Primavera V6. Also, in this dashboard information, other data is available. So, in order to use it, for instance, maybe you want to draw a chart for total float or free float. You can use the phases over here and add the free float to the value. Then this is the data for free float. You can use it by column chart, Also, you can use the select data and change it. And by a little bit modification, you can add it to your dashboard. This is for float, actually free float. Free float. Let me to shift the legend to the below. That's it. And I like to add a data label to each section. When you add another chart, you need to connect your slicer to these two. So you should go to report connection and add this connection to your report too. Let me to rename it to the 6. Right now, if I clear the filter, these are value for all of the project. But if I use only, for instance, procurement, all the information filter for procurement section. Let me to shift this free float for better view over here. All the information updated based on your filter by slicer. I hope this lesson would be useful for you. Please keep in touch with my LinkedIn, YouTube, and Instagram and Facebook for further lessons. Also, you can follow my hashtag Global Project Control in order to find all of my lessons in the same page. Thank you for your subscription in my channel.